Hey everyone, in this video we're going to be taking a detour from our normal new Nerf stuff to check out some new Buzzbee stuff. Buzzbee is releasing a bunch of new stuff this year, some reshelled, some recolored stuff, but they also have some brand new blasters that they are releasing, and one of those blasters is the Buzzbee Air Warriors Ultra-Tek Motorized Brute, a flywheel blaster. So Buzzbee is stepping up to the plate to take a hit against Nerf's flywheel game. Nerf's been doing it for quite a while, so why not Buzzbee? The blaster's claiming up to 72-foot ranges, which is quite a big claim for a company that's not really well known for their flywheels and really springers, for that matter. But it is quite a bold claim, so we're going to have to see if that is true. There is no instructional sheet, but you do have instructional panels on the back of the box on how to load, everything like that. And one of the cool things Buzzbee is doing is they're actually working with a couple of different darts. On the back of the box they have little indicators for which darts work with what, but yeah, I think that's cool that they're trying out megas and long distance darts, and I guess their elite kind of brand of stuff. So yeah, let's open this box up and see what all we get on the inside. In the box you get the Motorized Brute itself, 20 darts, and a 20-round magazine. The Brute is about a medium-sized blaster, except it's also quite thin, except for this chunk sticking out right here, which holds, I'm guessing, some of the motors and moving parts and stuff like that. With most Buzzbee toys, there's always a really small grip. I don't know what it is about Buzzbee and small grips, but this one is no exception. However, my hand fits it really well. This is rather comfy, and that's surprising because my hand kind of almost engulfs the thing. But it's very comfortable, so if you have big hands, don't worry about the grip comfort because it's quite good. The stock on the back of the Brute does not move, so you cannot adjust it, and this part right here is some squishy plastic, though it does not come off, so there's no like dart storage or anything like that. Shouldering it, even though it's quite a small blaster, it is a comfy one. The grip at the front has a rectangular build to it with some of the plastic kind of jutting out, but it's still comfortable to hold, even for my my large body on it. So it's a small blaster, but a comfy one at that. There's no tactical rails on this blaster, so you can't put any like accessories on it, and the front doesn't allow for any barrels or anything like that. Now, because the Brute is motorized, you have to put batteries into it, and the battery door is located on the right side in the back of the stock. So Phillips head screwdriver or a flathead that fits in it, you just unscrew it, you open it up, and you put your 4 AA's back in here. The darts in the magazine are a little different than that of Nerf darts in magazines. The Buzzbee darts have a little suction head on it, though I don't think they're actually going to stick to things and stay there for a while. It's probably just going to stick and then fall down. The magazine is not too different from Nerf's magazine. It's cosmetically different, but it loads just the same. You stick your darts in and you push them down. So if you've been using Nerf blasters all your life, this will feel just like them. So the way you go about using this blaster is you take your mag and you slide it into the front. Now, if you're used to Nerf stuff, it's gonna feel weird not putting the clip all the way in. It only goes about this far. It feels really shallow. The way you get your clip out is with this button right here, and it is a bit awkward to use. If you ram your thumb up into it like that, it works a bit better than trying to stick your finger all the way out, but it is still a bit weird compared to Nerf's kind of grip like that releases, so it might take a little bit of getting used to. You have to hold down the trigger halfway in order for the motors to run, which is different than what Nerf usually has, which is a rev trigger right here, so you can do them independently. So you have to hold down the rev trigger, and then once that's done, you can either pull the trigger once to fire off one dart, or you can hold it down for full auto. I think you can hear the little arm going. So with the half prime rev feature, you would think the darts might get jammed in the flywheels, but from what I've seen, the dart doesn't actually get pushed until the flywheels are at a fast enough speed to shoot them out of the blaster, which is kind of a cool little safety feature because there is no jam door on this blaster, so don't worry about that. Speaking of features, there is one very awesome feature that Buzzbee has implemented, and that is you can use Nerf magazines with Nerf darts inside of the Brute. They load just fine, and it fires them off no problem. This feature is super duper awesome and incredibly smart of Buzzbee to implement. Now that I've gone over all the features and how to use it, let's take the Brute outside for a chronograph test. I'll be using both Nerf darts and Buzzbee darts to see if there's any differences between the two when fired out of this thing. And we'll also be doing a firing test at about 60 feet, so let's go do that right now. for ranges, the Brute does just fine. It shoots Nerf darts much better than it does Buzzbee darts in terms of ranges, though the Nerf darts tend to kind of go off course more than the Buzzbee darts do. So it's kind of like a mix between, do you want accuracy or do you want range? So how do I feel about the Nerf motorized Brute? Let's start with the pros and then get to the cons. The first thing is it is quite comfortable. Even with a very, very small grip, my hand still fits around it comfortably, and even though it is a bit small for me, the blaster is comfortable overall. I can aim down sights just fine. The grip of the front is blocky, but it's not too uncomfortable, and even though this is very short, it still feels very nice in my shoulder. So ergonomically, it is pretty good. The second thing about this blaster is probably the best thing about this blaster, and that is it can use Nerf clips or mags, whatever you want to call it, and elite darts, which is super awesome and super smart of Buzzbee to do, because they probably know that most people have Nerf accessories, Nerf clips, and Nerf darts laying around their house, so why not get their blasters to be able to use them? That really helps them out in this situation, so that was very smart, and that is the second big thing about this blaster, is that it shoots the Nerf darts just fine and uses the clips perfectly. Thirdly, the way that the flywheel in the setup works, where it won't shoot out the darts unless the flywheels are at a certain rev. With Nerf darts, I did get some darts kind of squishing out of it. They get really bad range every now and then. I don't know what it is, but they make this weird kind of sound and then they just kind of pop out. So with Nerf darts, it's a bit iffy. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it sounds like some jam is going to happen, which is bad because there is no jam door on this blaster. But for the Buzzbee darts that come with it, it shoots really, really well. Even if you're trying to spam the trigger and push darts out on purpose, they will not fly out until the flywheels are spun up, which is great. And lastly, the price for this blaster is pretty good. I think it's $17.95. I'm trying to remember because I don't have my receipt anymore. But when I get the official amount, I'll put it right here. But if I remember correctly, it was $17.95, which is pretty cheap for a full auto blaster. So that's very good. Buzzbee has always been good with low prices. And now for the con. And I say con because there's really only one con that I can think of that kind of stands out. And that is this blaster uses double A's. This may not sound weird, but have you ever wondered why Nerf uses C and D batteries? That's so their blasters last longer before you have to replace the batteries. Because this blaster is using double A's, you're gonna have to switch them out much more than you would on, say, a Rapid Strike. A user on the Nerf Reddit said that he estimated you would get about 7 mags worth through this blaster before the batteries needed to be changed. Now, this is just an estimate, but if it's true, that is a very short battery lifespan. That's incredibly short. So if you're looking for something that you won't have to buy batteries for a lot, this is not the blaster for you. So what is my final verdict for the Buzzbee Brute? The Brute is a cheap blaster that gives you full auto capability and some really good single fire trigger control that also takes Nerf Elite darts and Nerf mags, which is so cool. If you don't want to spend $40 on a Rapid Strike, and you can also look past the battery problems that are going to arise with using double A's, like short battery life and a flywheel blaster, this blaster is definitely worth looking into. Even if you don't mind paying the higher Nerf costs, like $40 for a Rapid Strike, this blaster is still something you should look into to see if you would like to get it, because I think it's a very cool gun. I'm happy with the performance, I'm happy with what they've done with it, and I think Buzzbee has done something very great, and they are going in the right direction with their new line so far. So there you have it. That is my review of the Buzzbee Air Warriors Ultra-Tek Motorized Brute. Long name, there's a sticker on the side so I didn't mess it up, but there you have it. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, have a great day wherever you are.